Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day, good whatever it is for you today. You're up there. You're up there. You're up there. Anywho, hopefully everybody's had a good one. I just turned off the drawing feature on the AMS2 Pro. I may or may not have probably destroyed 2 spools of filament in the process of doing such thing. We'll find out when I go to print some more. I don't know if I went a little high on the temp and may have melted some PLA. I'm not sure. So, anywho, filament showed up last night really late, like 8 o'clock. So we now have our purple, which is actually perfect timing for Halloween too, but that's going to be used to print the trophies for the kids. That's the main purpose anyway. Let's get started with trying to print some stuff. So we're going to start off where we left off yesterday, which is printing the button clickers for the kids for Halloween. We're going to try to use ABS, an old black spool of ABS that I have. Oh, looks like we're going to do a firmware update. So we're going to do that first. My hand is all kinds of hurting. I did a number to my thumb, and it's still like puffed up really bad and pussy from getting burnt on the pellet smoker yesterday. when I have my thumb down in there trying to get to the heat, which by the way, I'm gonna work on that here in a minute too. Once I get the print started, we're gonna see if the smoker will light off by itself. If it will, then we're fine. If it won't, then I'm gonna order a igniter for it. Sorry, heating element. Actually, I think they do call them igniters, even though it's not an actual like lighting igniter. It's just a heating probe. So that has been completed. So now we are going to open up our Bambu Studios and go back to the original file that we were trying to print yesterday. We're going to start right where we left off. I did go and wash the bed off this morning as well, thinking that the bed adhesion problems that I was fighting could have been the bed itself, just because I did have a decent amount of prints on it with a bunch of different filament types. Probably 4, honestly, since the last time I've washed it. So I felt like it was probably the right thing to do. Basically do a full reset. We're going to download. I think this guy. They did it in PLA, and I would prefer to do it in PLA if I had the option, but I don't, so. Oh, that's just the skull. Okay, that ain't gonna work. Pumpkins. Cauldron. That's the one I want. So the black is going to be generic. Let's just do ABS. Green is going to be PLA. Okay, that's that. That's that. I don't know if that's going to work, but we're going to try it. I just want the base. And I want to print. Let's do. We're going to print 6 copies total. So there we go. Slice and dice it. And we are going to print. And this is going to give me the option to pick where I want to go with it. So I'm going to move it to 2. And we are going to send it. I'm perfectly fine with the error. These don't use a ton of filament, so that's why I'm willing to do these and sell them for like probably $7 a piece. Just because the cost of the buttons. What's going on, Athens? The cost of the buttons and the cost of the keychain doesn't add up to a ton of money. I forget what I paid for them, honestly. So, let me go and look real fast. I think, so 36 buttons. So, 1066, divide that by 36. So 30 cents a piece. And then 50 cents a piece for that, maybe. So I have $1 in material. So, no, I'm not going to get rich doing it, but I can at least buy some filament. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. So, we get the printer going. Let's follow that for a second. While it's doing its thing, I'm going to go and start the smoker just to see if it'll actually light off real fast. It's one button. We'll see if this thing works. And if it don't, then I know I gotta order the igniter, which we can actually go and look for real fast. Green Mountain Garage. So I've already bought it once, because I remember buying it. Like I said, the $13. You're playing Rivals Roblox. Why do people not read the fucking directions? Like, it ain't rocket science. Cracks me up that people don't pay any attention. Like, it says... Oh, it does say Jim Bowie. And it does clearly say not for the 12-volt versions, so... Whatever. Worst map ever. Okay, why is the printer not printing yet? Oh, it's still heating up. That's why, because I forgot it's ABS. It takes forever. Well, I don't think the igniter's working. Because it's saying it's 66 degrees in the igniter right now, inside the... And it should not be anywhere near that, down that low. That's ambient temperature. It's 66 degrees. Okay, so yep, we're going to have to order a new igniter, which is fine. So we'll go ahead and get that ordered today as well. I had a suspicion. That it wasn't working correctly. So I'm perfectly fine with it. Printer is starting to prime now, so it's getting ready to start printing and doing its thing. Let's see what happens with that. While we're working on that, let's go ahead and order a new igniter. Igniter. Make sure I'm not missing anything. It's more obvious. I mean, there's one for $12.99. I'd like to go with the ceramic version, but That looks like it's the same thing. It's the same price. I'm just gonna go with the other one because I know it works. It's worked for since I bought it, so it's almost 2 years old. So it's been fine. I'll keep going with it. We'll order a new one. This igniter's for the grill that I have for my smoker. You're saving money to get a Switch too? Good luck. And you finding them is just as hard as having the money to buy it. So buy it now. It'll be here tomorrow. Easy peasy. Just find like stock. People are buying them and selling them third party for more than what they are retail. So they're scalping the crap out of them, just like Pokemon cards. Um, I've been watching them for getting one for the kid for Christmas, and I don't know if he'll use it or not. So, oh, my thumb. This burn I have on my thumb is not fun. Oh, they're everywhere. Yeah, they're not over here. They sell for 500, I think, here. I bought them a Switch OLED version, the OLED version. Okay, let's take a look, see what this looks like. Make sure this thing sticks and does what it's supposed to do. I'll say that's not live, but that is. I guess I could just switch over to this because it's a better camera. We have a little bit of everything. We have the PS4, a PS5, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and did I say PS5? And the OLED Nintendo. And then I game on my computer. We'll see if these stick. They look good. Initial thoughts anyway. They look pretty good, so I wouldn't say I'm rich. Far from it. All consoles are overpriced. I mean, hell, I think a PS5 over here is 600, 700 bucks, 600 bucks. I bought it when it first came out too. It was a Christmas gift for the oldest. The first year it got released, and I just happened to find it. Was following somebody on Twitter, I think it was at the time, that was announcing stock releases and trying to buy them before scalpers were getting them, because that was back when you couldn't find one in a store anywhere. You had to find it like within an hour of it getting released to the public. But we just happened to get lucky and found somebody that listed one for sale on, I think it was Walmart.com, online fulfillment and picked it up at the store, if I remember right. It's either that or Target. It's one of the two. But it was like within the like first month of it getting released. So, and they've not really had them in stock hardly ever. They just, I think, just now started getting some back in stock. I walked by the electronics yesterday at Walmart, my local Walmart, and they did have PS5s in stock, and they had 4 um no, Switch 2s there, which is shocking because they're slow. I think they're starting to finally slowly come back, but I just wish Pokemon cards would get the same way. You can't find Pokemon cards in stores around here anywhere. I'm trying to find Pokemon cards for the kids for Christmas, so I just don't have great luck finding anything. And I'll buy them like box sets and stuff like that if I see them. But the problem is I can find them at other like smaller mom and pop places, but they're wanting markup price. They don't want to sell them for retail. They want to sell them for $40 or $50 over retail price for a box set. So like the prismatic box for Pokemon cards, it's like $100. They're gonna sell it for 150, which I don't like supporting scalpers. The only time I'll support stuff like that is if I do one-off stuff. So prime example. Like the kids, the youngest is the Pokemon fan. But I'll show you some stuff like that I bought, like that I'm referring to. So he was born in 2015. So I wanted to get him a card that was the same year as him. So I went and just found like a basic. It's nothing crazy. But this card is as old as him basically, and it's graded, so it's protected, and it'll always stay protected as long as it's inside the case. So I bought that for him because I wanted him to have something that like memorizes him with like his age and stuff like that. I'm fully aware, Jack. I don't work, so it's fine. No, I'm off today. So, and then he likes Pikachu and he knows that I love Pikachu, so I bought him a perfect scored Pikachu from a 2023 pack, and I actually really like the drawing of it too. So, I think I paid 20. What did I pay for that? I paid $25 total shipped to my door. So, something like that, I would expect it to probably go up in value because it's a perfect score. So that's the reason why I spent a little bit more money on like stuff like this. I don't mind doing that because I'm paying scalper pricing, but these are collectible. Like they'll mean something to him basically. Another idea like stuff that I buy occasionally is my oldest loves Deadpool. So I took a huge gamble. Oh, I can't see the listing now. Son of a biscuit. But I have... Can I not? No, I can't. Okay. This is 2 comic books. One has been graded, one has not been graded. The one that has not been graded has 4 signatures on it, one of which is Stan Lee's. So if you know anything about comic books, these are a Deadpool early appearances. So for example, this is the very first appearance, very first issue of Deadpool. Not the Deadpool, like it's the same Deadpool that is in like the movies and stuff like that now, but it's the very first appearance of Deadpool. So like here's a prime example of, so here's one that I paid okay, you can't see that one either. Hold on. That one's also signed by Rob Liefeld. So let me do some explaining so I can show you. So Deadpool, so the New Mutants 98 is the very first appearance of Deadpool. Stan Lee is the creator of Marvel. Is it Marvel? I'm trying to remember. He passed away. He's the creator of X-Men, Thor, Spider-Man. I'm trying to remember who are all of these? Is it Marvel? I think it's all Marvel, right? I'm not a comic book guy, so this is not my realm. Yes. He is the creator of Marvel. So that's who he is. So my oldest, he's my stepson, but I call him my oldest because I've been around him for 14 years. He's 18 now, by the way. So if that gives you an idea. The original Mutants 98, the original, like, here's a prime example of what I'm talking about. This is a unsigned version of the first appearance of Deadpool, which is Mutants 98. It's the 98th copy, or 98th appearance of the New Mutants is how this works. So, so this is the first appearance of Deadpool. So this comic is highly collectible and highly sought after. This one comic specifically. So I had bought him originally because I went down the slippery slope of bullshit, and I had purchased him. What was it? I think I bought him a replica, a reprint. Sorry, I think I bought him a reprint first. I'm looking. So no. I also bought him another one that's signed by somebody else, which was the artist of that Agent X Deadpool edition. That is the #1 copy, like the #1 issue of Deadpool is what that one is. That one's also signed by the authenticator, or not the authenticator, the illustrator of the cover. So that's what that one was. He's old enough to appreciate these kind of things. So these are not items that I would buy for him to read. These are collectible items at this point. And because these are all late 90s, I think, issues of what these would be. And then what happened? So then I bought the first Mutants, but I bought a reprint, and this happens to be a Mexican version, but it is also signed by Rob Liefeld, which is I think Rob is the illustrator of the Mutants 98 cover. I could be wrong. I think Rob is the illustrator. Anywho, but that one's signed. So this one was graded, so I wanted to get him something that was graded. So I got him this one that's 9.6, and that is a reprint. So this one would have been reprinted like in early 2000. I think if my memory is right, I want to say like 2015, 2016 is when this one was reprinted and signed and authenticated. And I didn't mind spending the $95 just because of what it is. But then I ran across this posting, and I think they had it listed for like $600 or $800, and I got them down to $400. But it is the original Mutants 98. So like I said, keep this in mind. So this is an 8.5 of the original copy by itself, no signatures, and it's selling for $300. I bought one that has a couple signatures on it, but the comic graded as a 7, but not the signatures. That is not a signature verification. That is a comic verification. And then this one, OMG, fucking using like a 60-inch zero-turn mower for a 500 square foot front yard. It's the owner of the property too. It's even funnier. Anyhow, and then this comic over here is the one that has Stan Lee's signature on it, and it's got like 4 other signatures. I don't remember who they all are without looking at it, but that's the one I really wanted. So I was willing to gamble, and the guy promised me, he's like, hey, do me a favor. I'm like, he swears it's good, and he's like, if you get it authenticated and it's not, let me know. I'll refund you your money back. He swears that it's 100% authenticated and everything else. So I've got it on an email, whatever. I'm not going to do that, but that's why I was willing to take this gamble, is because it's that copy alone is probably worth close to $400 by itself, much less this. So then I went down the rabbit hole of looking up this one. So if I look up X-Force number 2, this is where this gets really funny. So if I look up X-Force number 2, Stan Lee, and if I look up ones that actually have Stan Lee's signature on them, and if I go to sold listings, so like there's the same comic that we're looking for. Oh no, that's number 1. Sorry. But like there's you a prime example of a Mutants 98 with Stan Lee's signature on it. That's the comic that's in question, and that only has Rob's signature on it, and it sold for $215. Basically, where I'm getting at is Stan Lee's signature makes this it's very rare. Hold on, I gotta answer this. Sorry. So anyhow, this is what I was looking for. So these are Stanley and Rob Liefeld, which I know are 2 signatures on his, and he has 2 more on his copy. And all of these, this is the correct comic book. Now you see why I was willing to take the gamble. So I have this copy ungraded with these signatures, and they're listed. Let me rephrase that. Listed for $1,500+. So I think he's sitting on like $1,000 comic, basically, is what this comes down to. God, what a fucking slumlord that guy is. Anywho, but that's the nerdiness of like where I go down the rabbit hole of stuff. When I start looking at like Christmas gifts and those kind of things, I try to get something that's a little bit more personal. Like these are birthday gifts, is what these were. So, but that's the stuff that I like to try to do. Is I try to think outside the box and get stuff that the kids would enjoy. So nobody's moving. Oh, the neighbor's mowing. The people across the street's a duplex, and they were mowing. It's like a 500 square foot front yard. So it's like 5 foot by 10 foot, and they're using like a 60-inch zero turn standing mower to mow it because he owns a mowing business, and he owns like 4 of these duplexes across the street. And so they just use their big ass commercial mowers to mow these tiny ass yards. It's quite hilarious. So, okay, let's check on our print. Make sure it's still printing. It's not. It popped off. Mother effer. I can't get this to print. I know what it is. It's the filament. And I don't have any other black. Or do I? Let me try a different roll of filament. I don't think I have any PLA black. I have PET G black, but I don't know if I want to do that. I guess that's what we're going to do. We're going to try PET G, because this ain't sticking worth a shit. Okay, let me stop this. Yeah, that's a hot mess. This thing's all kinds of messed up. Not one of them stuck this time. That's funny. And the first layer looks fine. Like, that's what don't make sense to me. Whatever. I need to unload that filament. So we'll let that unload. Printing's always fun. What are you talking about? We're going to swap filament spools. What other black do I have? I have carbon fiber, but I'm not going to do that. I have this stupid old roll of PET G. Let's just do that. Let's try that. I think I'm gonna throw away that spool of ABS. I think it's just an old filament. I think is my problem. Because this spool is probably 4 years old and has been exposed to the elements a shit ton. And it was my very first spool of filament I ever got, not realizing that my CR10 would not print ABS. So I learned real fast that was a bad idea. So let's throw in this old spool of PET G. See if we can't get this to print. Close that up. We're going to go to preview. I need to change this to pet G. Slice. Print. Pet G is going to be in 2. Send. Confirm. Mine came with the textured bed, and I don't really have hardly any issues with it. So I really don't have like it's not a bed adhesion problem. Like that's the issue. Well, let me rephrase it. It first layer's fine. So I think it's just bad. I think it's just crappy. I think it's just crappy filament. I could be wrong. But this will prove real fast if it's filament or not. So I swapped it over to some old Pet G. I'm just trying to get rid of some of this old filament as well. And I want to make it so it's stronger than like PLA because it's going to be a kid's fidget toy. So we'll see. I wonder if I'm using the wrong size nozzle. No, it says 4mm. Anywho. Come on, you can do it. You can do it! Preview. What are we waiting on? Device. You're up to temp. You're actually over temp. You can start. Any second now. You're 5 degrees over temp on bed, and you're 25 degrees over temp on nozzle. Thank you. I did wash the bed this morning, so I wonder if I should re-level the bed. I don't think I need to, because, again, I don't think it's a first layer problem. Mm-hmm. 250 and 70. It's all at the right temp. Let's start printing, please. Any second, you can start puking some filament out. Because I see you're priming. I don't know if it's actually printing anything out the... I think it is. Looks like it's doing it out the poop bucket now. The poop chute. So the smoker jack is... I bought a igniter for it. I went ahead and tried starting it this morning without touching it, and it went through its cycle, and it was registering 65 degrees Fahrenheit as the internal temperature. after it went through its igniting cycle. I'm like, yeah, that's ambient temperature, so there's no way that sucker lit off. So I'm like, okay, I'll buy a new igniter. It was like $14. So that tells me the igniter's not functioning again, which is fine. I probably killed it when I put water on it. It's okay. Like I said, that's classified as a consumable part. So, and they're not hard to change. Come on, printer. Good grief. Making this way more complicated than it needs to be. My thumb still hurts like the dickens. I have a meeting at 1 o'clock with a tax savings analyst. I mean, this is not going to be a fun interaction, but whatever. I guess it's free, supposedly. Came with my package that I bought from when I bought my when I registered for the company. So, how's this thing looking? That's the $1,000,000 question. That looks weird. Why does that look like it's blobbed up? It's not that bad. I'm just wondering if it's not a file problem, and I keep fighting a file issue. That's why I'm looking. Or am I printing them too fast? That's my other concern. So I did try printing it once, I think yesterday, slowly on silent speed, and I think it still did the same thing. But I don't know what layer they keep failing, but it's like it grabs one and pulls it off the bed, and then it stays stuck to the nozzle, and then it keeps going, and then it knocks another one off because it's stuck. Adios, Athens. Have a good one. I'll be here. So far, so good. We'll keep it going. See what it looks like. And if it works, then I'm just going to throw this spool away. Looks like it's still going. Somewhere about right now is when it's going to start popping off the bed if they do. I'm going to go stand over by the printer and watch because I can't see it from down here. Yeah, these all look fine. So far, anyway. Okay. I'm going to let these go. I'm going to go out, stand out back real quick, so I'll be right back. Okay. I'm gonna let this go for a few. I will be back. I'm gonna go run to the hardware store. Looks like these are gonna stay stuck because they should have already pulled off by now if they were gonna mess up. Yeah, I think we're golden. So I will be back. I'm gonna put the AFK sign up to let you know I'm gone. But I shouldn't be gone for more than 30, 45 minutes. I'll be done before this print's done. We'll say that. this old ABS away. Clearly, this filament works just fine. Hoogly doogly, I'm back, boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen and anybody in between. These are about halfway done. Anywho, what's up, Athens? Welcome back. I'm back, by the way. Hey, trucker. So apparently that ABS is junk. So I just pitched it. So now we're printing it with my old spool of Pet G that I have. So it's working just fine. Chat's not working now again either. Hold on. I'll fix it. Now it's working. Sometimes it just stops and I have to refresh it to get it to work. I don't know why it does that, but it does that. What are you printing, Athens? Which big one? Oh, the one where the bin's removable and it sits upright or sits on an angle. The big bucket like looking one. Let's take a look at our purple while we're waiting. Uh, Bring it over to this camera. I don't even know if it's working. So this is the new filament that showed up last night that I ordered. I was looking for purple, and I'm gonna say that's a pretty purple. Yeah, it's a really nice. It's a really nice color. I'm happy with that. I'm actually really happy with that color. I had enough money to buy another printer, but I decided to wait. I was gonna buy the Elegoo. So still have some cash in my pocket. Let me check eBay real fast. Make sure I'm not missing a sell. Once I sell the dog collar, I may buy a new printer. So we'll see. We'll see if this sells. I had $100 offer and I denied it. So I know it's worth more than $100. I counter offered with 180, and I don't think they accepted it or whatever. But I have another person watching it already, which tells me people are interested in it. I don't mind dropping the price some because I do have some money that I can invest into it, but I don't want to go crazy with it. Because I know what it's worth. Like I said, they're worth three. They're worth like. Chat's not working again. What in the world? Oh, it's maybe no, it's not. What is going on with chat? I don't understand why chat doesn't keep working. I'm selling a dog training collar that I got at a local thrift store for $200. So this is my listing, and it's a dog training collar with the charging cables, the tracker, the shock collar, the remote, and the accessories. And like I said, this thing sells for like even used. So if I go and look this up, um, so if I go and look at the sold items, and if I look up used, because a lot of these are not the same. So that's just one component of what I'm selling. That's the whole kit. One of them sold for $350. That's the exact unit that I have. There's another one for 330. There's the exact same unit I'm selling. They sold for 300. There's another one that sold for 300. So I have mine listed for $200. I didn't think I was being greedy with my price. So we'll see. My bet is it'll sell. It'll sell for more than $100 for sure. But yeah, that's one item I bought, and I paid $8 for it at my local thrift store. So I basically taking $8 and making. By the time I pay for shipping and fees and stuff, I'll probably clear $150. So then, how much are these selling for now? My question is have they released the AMS, the multicolor prints form yet? So like right now, it's down to $330. So I could probably buy that with after I sell that printer. Do I need a second printer? I probably don't. But there are some times where I feel like having a second printer is nice. I still have the other one behind me. I just have not touched it. And honestly, I'll probably buy another printer and sell that one for $100. Actually, I'd probably just put it up for sale for $100. Because I have like 150 cash from stuff that I've sold around the house that I fixed and whatnot. So I could throw the cash in for that too. So, because honestly, I don't even know if I'd get $100 for the Sylvest VO1. And for the price, I don't think I would want to sell it for anything under that because I know what it's worth. Like, I know how good it is, and it prints amazing. I could turn it on and do some of these buttons. You know what? Let's do that. Let's get the old Sova out. I gotta clear it off first. Clean it off my workbench. Wait a minute. What is this? Why is this over here? This is. No, this is my soldering gun. Why is that over there? You're wanting me to see the Discord server, okay? Actually, I'll just put you guys on the camera. I don't care. You've seen my garage enough to know how bad it is. So this is what I'm working on cleaning off again. Discord. Open Discord. Nintendo Switch 2. What am I looking at? You just sent me 3 links, and one's for a PlayStation 5 and 2 Nintendo Switches. Or did you send it somewhere else? Did you put it in here and I didn't see it? Oh, okay. You're curious on what's causing that? Rotate it. Because mine does not have that. I have one line from where it was at, so it's clearly a slicer issue somewhere with your settings. So here's the box that's in question. Same box that you're showing me, I think. Let me change. Let me focus this. So this is one side. This lighting is terrible. You can't see shit. So there you go. That's just fine. Oh, these bugs. Man, I put the freaking mosquito in. There's the one line I have. And that's basically just because that's where it starts and stops as it goes around. So I could have put it in vase mode and got rid of it, but I'm perfectly fine with that line. But that's the only side I have an issue. So yes, it is definitely a slicer issue. So that's what I said. You can try rotating it. It might help. So let's get this cleaned off so we can print some more stuff today. So I'm going to clean off basically from about here that way. Won't take me long. It's just I get lazy, so I just throw stuff up here instead of actually putting them away like I'm supposed to. Some of the stuff I don't have a spot for it, which is another issue. This is the world's oldest electrical wiring. So, I mean, this is old. This is probably older than me. And I'm 40. It was my uncle's. He gave it to me before he passed away when I was building my boat. To wire my boat for my trolling motor and stuff on the bow. So he gave it to me because he was a retired, or he was an electrician and no longer used it. So he gave it to me. and then passed away. Not shortly after, actually. He had medical issues. That's why he retired from doing work. Oh no! No! My fan! He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Cables can go there. That's fine. This is my spare homemade camera LED monitor while I'm out in the field, but I don't really need it anymore because my new camera has one. The old camera that I'm using currently does not. That's my old camera that I used to record videos on, is what you're watching these live streams with. My new camera just basically collects dust, and it's 4K. So all these cables I need to take and put them up. My random smorgasbord of USB cables, extension cables, you name it. Actually, I do need to keep this one. No, I need to keep this one out. This one's for the print. This one's for the CNC table. And dropping everything, apparently. That's that. Take those in, put them on my desk. Put that up there. This is my other webcam. This one's only 720, so that's going in because it's basically junk. Don't need that cable where I'm going. Don't need that. This is part of that camera. Raspberry Pi for my Octoprint that I'm not going to use. Actually, should I convert this to Octoprint? I never did. I'm going to leave this out. I may set up Octoprint on this guy. I wouldn't mind doing it if I'm going to start using it more. I'm not a fan of Octoprint. I love it, but I haven't used it in forever, so I kind of forget a lot of stuff. So that's kind of my issue. I don't blame Octoprint. I blame me for being an idiot. So yeah, this became a collect-all when I cleaned off my workbench because it just, some of the stuff I didn't know what to do with, I just tossed it over there. Anywho, let's get green filament out. We're going to hook up green back on this guy. I need electric. I run 2 printers. This one's open bed, so I'm probably going to have to turn on the air conditioner at some point today. So I see you. I just haven't read your chat message yet. I'm sorry, Jack. Okay. There we go. Power on. Scooch this over a little bit. That's fine. And dandy. Put our filament on. I think I overdid this filament, by the way. I think it's not going to be any good now. That is the most expensive junk drawer I've ever seen. The sad part is, that's not just a standard. That's not a standard spindle either. That's the sad part. That's probably a $4,000 junk drawer. Oh my god. I hate you all. You all know how to keep me on my toes in the most loving way possible. Looking for my little guys, my little clips. I like using little clips. I don't like using big ones. Now the question is, should I level the bed? I'm gonna go with no, but I do need to clean it off. Acetone, 91%. Isopropyl alcohol. Okay. This should be up to temp. Is it not? No, it's not. Because I'm a goofball. Nozzle needs to be 210. Okay. YOLO, send it. I'm not gonna touch the. I'm not leveling it. I'm just gonna clean it off at least. We're gonna test the theory on how good this printer is. I bet it prints without a problem. I need my memory card. And I really want to put Octoprint on it. I've just never put Octoprint on that printer, so I don't really know how to do it. The only Octoprint I've ever had was on the CR10S, so I would assume I could take it and literally plug it right into this, and it'll probably work without a problem. I don't remember the login credentials. I don't remember any of it. That's the problem. So I literally would have basically just start all over. If Jack wants to help me, because he's the expert when it comes to aftermarket software, because I am not a programmer. That is the one thing I suck at, is programming. So I think this filament's bad. I think I over dried it. But I'll deal with that when I get there. Okay, let's bring it over to the computer. So what we're gonna do is, oh, how do I do this? I don't know. I don't know how to do this. How do I get this file out of here into Orca? Do I just save it as an STL? Okay, let's try that. And then I need to pull up Orca Slicer. Yeah, I did Octoprint. You got someone fold. I had Octoprint on my old CR10S, so That's what the Octoprint server's from. It was from my old CR10S. Sure, let's go and do the updates on this guy while we're at it too. Did not update. Whatever. I'll deal with that later. So I need to go to prepare. And this is going to be the SCO1, not the SVO1, but it's the SCO1 because apparently I can't type when I did this. We need to import file, import my STL. And that's going to be this guy. And then I'm doing, I think 6. So I need to clone it. So clone 5 times. And then this is going to be generic PLA is fine. Slice and dice. Hook up my... Oh, that's a problem because I'm a fucking idiot and didn't leave a USB port open in the front of my computer because I'm a fucking jackass. What in the world did I do this for? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, camera, you get unplugged because I'm an idiot and didn't leave my front port open on my computer. Orca can open Bambu Studio files, does not have to be an SD. Really? I learned something new. I think all that's trash. Delete. That was the memory card out of my CR10S before I sold it. Yes, I kept the stock memory card when I sold it. I mean, they want to lowball me. They're not going to get the accessories. I don't think Cura can. Orca is basically the same thing as Bambu Studio. I got flies in here again. I got 2 of them and they're driving me nuts. Okay, so that's that. What was I doing? Squirrel. Exporting to D drive. It's a 4-hour print. Jesus, I am spoiled. That's redonkulous. 4 hours to print this? How rude. Okay, I think we're going to do Octoprint next. Because I'm getting annoyed with dealing with memory cards again. Undo, off, on, live view. There we go. Back on here. 45 pounds of lumber. Really? It's lumber's weird. It's like very hit or miss, like when it comes to all of that. So I'm talking about deliveries. That is. Print for media. Go. I'm not touching the bed. We're gonna see if this works. Have an SD card to a TF card adapter if you have an SD port. I just use USB adapter, but my argument is why would I do that when I can just do it? Okay, this camera's froze. Why is this camera frozen? What in the fuck is going on today, guys? I swear, this day is not going good. Deactive, active. Now it's working. I'm not leveling the bed. We're going to find out if this works without needing to level it. What'd you sell? I need to. I need more cells. I just need to put more stuff up for sale, but that's my fault. How does that work, trucker? If you load up wood and you're not overweight, and let's say you don't get fuel and you sit somewhere I'm lowering the tip down. Okay, anyhow. So let's say you load up your wood, you weigh out, you're fine, and then you sit somewhere and it gets rainy, so then the wood starts soaking up that rain, and then next thing you know you're overweight. How does that happen? Like, or are you supposed to keep it covered with tarps so it doesn't get full of rain? Oh my god, someone bought a file that I made for a Christmas tree candy tray. I mean, some people don't have the tools. Some people don't have the machines. You have to understand that. The center boogered up. I'm not gonna fault that. I think that was being over temp. So I lowered the temp down. It's now 205. Let's see if this stays. Let's see if this works. Honestly, it probably would bridge that gap. If it was to fail. Because it's just supports that failed. I'm fine with that. This is why I love this printer. This is why I have a hard time selling this printer. How long has it been sitting? 2 months? A month? Haven't touched it. Didn't do anything to it. And all I did was cleaned off the bed, threw a file at it, loaded some filament on it, hit print, and it functions. Well, no, I get that. But my question is what happens if you become overweight because of rain? Because the wood soaked up all of the rain, so then it becomes heavy because water's not light. Or is that just why you don't load down to near capacity for weight with wood, knowing that you may pick up weight as you, like, let's say you picked it up in Florida and you get in a rainstorm and you drive to Tennessee and you have to get pulled over for ODOT at one of the weigh stations, and the next thing you know you weigh heavy because you soaked up a ton of water. Like, how does that work? That's what I'm asking. I don't have an Etsy. That's the problem. I don't have anything that's really worth selling on Etsy either. So, so I'm assuming that's just the risk you take then. So I'm gonna assume you would have to wrap, like you would take. I'm assuming you're on a flatbed, so you would wrap it in tarps to keep it all dry during transport, so you wouldn't pick up the additional weight. And just obviously be aware of it with fuel, like your fuel load, so you don't get overweight. Oh, there's a startup fee for Etsy now. I didn't even know that they charged that. I've never even looked into an Etsy. Like I never really did anything that's what I would consider is Etsy bound. Like these, I could probably sell on Etsy. But everything I've always done was all RC related, and there's nothing RC related on Etsy, and I really don't want to start that. But I did not make the files for these. Technically, legally, I can't sell them. You're correct. how would Etsy how would Etsy know that I didn't modify the file? Like that's my argument. Yeah, well, that's if they found out. If I sold millions of them, somebody would come knocking. But if I sold 10, somebody's probably not going to complain. But again, who says that I didn't take an existing file and modify it to make it my own? Or that I didn't create this and somebody knocked off my file? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a moral thing, or at least that's how I would look at it. Um, okay, that makes sense. So you'd have to get your fuel load down if you accidentally became overweight because of water, or go to a station to unload some. Sure. Okay, that makes sense. I was just curious on how that worked. Or who says that I didn't buy the license to print these? Like, you know what I mean, Jack? Like that's I'm saying there's a bunch of loopholes in there that it is what it is. I get it. I wouldn't take free files and try selling them anyway, but or at least not without doing some modifications to them. I love this printer. This is why I really don't want to get rid of it, but it's just slow. That's one of the reasons why I would like to get the Elegant. Did they ever, by the way, Squirrel? Did they ever release the freaking multicolor for this thing yet? Does not look like it. I'm shocked that they. I mean, I get it. I absolutely get it, and they're not as. I would assume they're not as bad as eBay. Like eBay don't care. Um, where? Like, do they not have any information on their AMS? Like, it's not even on the website anymore. I could have sworn it was here. I wonder if they have any pre-owned. No, they don't. Well, all I was saying is it sounds like they're not like eBay don't care. eBay will sell anything counterfeit. They don't care. They don't care one bit. But it sounds like Etsy actually cares about people. I know that they were advertising the AMS was coming for this, and it was supposed to be out third quarter of this year. And that's why I didn't buy this, is because I wasn't buying this machine on the hopes that the AMS would come out, and it never come out. Which is what I'm afraid is happening with this, which is why I didn't want to buy this as my primary printer, because I want to do multicolor printing, which is why I bought the bamboo. But now I don't even see them advertising the AMS at all. Yeah, like they're not even talking about it now, where before it used to be advertised. Um, maybe it's on their Facebook page. I'll at least give them a follow while I'm here. Search. Who's messaged me anyway? Posts. Search. I can't imagine they're calling it AMS. Oops. Helps if I got rid of. No, I can't find it. No, they never had it listed for sale on the website, but they advertised it was coming on their webpage. For I know I seen it. I remember flat out seeing it. That they were advertising it supposed to be launched for Q3 of 2025, which we're there. Like if it's not out now, then it's never coming out. I'm telling you that right now. And that's why I keep saying that. That's why I didn't want to buy it. I didn't want to buy this printer under the assumption that the multicolor was coming, and they never release it, because I could see that. Yeah, see, like Q3 sometime. Yeah, so they were somebody they talked in support says they pushed it back to Q4, which would have been through August, and it's still we're past that now. So announcements due in October, November. So they're gonna wait till Christmas to release it. No wonder. And then right there's my dead giveaway, which is what I was afraid was going to happen. No updates to indicate that they are no longer planning for one, which I wouldn't be shocked if that's not the case. Because again, they're trying to compete for something. Again, this is not the official webpage. I get that. Whatever, we'll see. It's all speculation. Anywho, enough with that. Okay, what to do next? Let's start with. I can't really do. Can I do Octoprint? Let's start tinkering with Octoprint. I gotta go get power cable and a USB cable, and we're gonna tear this guy apart and disconnect these jumpers that I built on this, because this was for a LED light strip that I had modded to show as an indicator for the for it. So that's what I bet happened, Jack, is they probably thought it was easy to do, so they committed to something, well, announced a rough timeline. And you might be right, trucker. Let me go grab a cable real fast. Actually, I think I have one floating here. Let me look. I think it's a black one. Where are you? Cable. I think it's this guy. Because this is a USB, a micro USB plug. Yeah, I have one. Or is this USB-C? I don't remember. Which one's power? No, it is USB-C. Ooh, look at me investing money in something that actually hasn't proper... How the fuck do I do this? I have to connect this to the PC via USB. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Okay, I don't remember anything about what I'm doing, so if anybody wants to help me with Octoprint, I am all for it. But let's first things first, let's get you over here. And we are going to pop this guy apart real fast. This thing's disgusting. I'm fully aware. Take off my pins for my LED, because I don't need that now. We'll put this back together. This thing lived in the printer housing for years, so... There we go. That's that. It has its own memory card built into it, so I think I have to take the memory... If I remember right, I think the memory card comes out. No, I don't think I probably have seen it, but I don't pay that much attention to printers anymore, honestly. So, um, okay, let's look. I don't remember. I don't remember anything about Octoprint. How to set up Octoprint on a Raspberry Pi. Download for Windows. I would assume I can skip a lot of this stuff, but I'm doing it anyway just to be safe because I don't remember all of these steps. So I would be better off just starting fresh at this point because it's for a different. You're speaking Japanese, Jack. I don't know what you're saying. You're reflashing the SDS care. Yeah. Okay. That's that. Again, you're way above my head. Way above my head. Find the Octopi image under Choose OS. Honestly, I don't even remember what Pi this is. I think it's a 4. Let's look. I have a new one still in a box inside the house somewhere. Where does this say what version Pi this is? Raspberry Pi 4 Model B. There we go. It is dustier than all get out. Okay. Raspberry Pi 4. Choose an OS. I have no clue. It says recommended. That's what it's going to get. Storage. Not an option. Why is it not an option? That's not... That's not... Do I need to throw the USB drive? Do I need to throw this on a USB stick and throw it in the computer? I'm assuming that's an answer is yes. So why you take the 30 seconds, you say no? So put it on my desktop is what you're saying. On my hard drive. Yeah, there's not. Is it because I have the wrong operating system? I mean, I guess because it wouldn't be Raspberry Pi. Okay, that makes sense. I'm not reading the instructions. Choose OS, select other specific purpose. Okay. Other specific purpose OS. 3D printing. Octopi. And then what in the world is the difference? I'm just going to go with the basic one since that's what it says. And then open advanced options. Click on the button with the gear. What? I still think I need to put this on a USB drive on the memory card, which, by the way, I need to format anyway, so let's do that. Jesus Christ, I plugged the camera back in. Ugh. And I can't... Okay, undo. Undo the camera. Plug that back in. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I have to plug the SD card in here somewhere. So in this case, now I need a place to put it. So I said I've already had Octopi. So here's the Octopi with all the files. But I'm just going to delete all this because I'm basically starting over. Because I'm special. I should have copied it. I'm an idiot. I am doing exactly what you're not supposed to do. Which is assuming that all of that was not right. So, it's fine. It's fine. So choose a file. So now it's going to go there. Next, would you like to apply OS customization settings? I have no clue. Open advanced settings. Huh? I want to change that to SV01. Set username and password. No. Configure wireless LAN. Yes. I think it's this. I think that's it. Set local settings. Sure. I don't need. Screw that. I don't need that. Does it need that? I don't think it does. Why would it? I don't think it matters. Screw that. Too many. Oh, it does make me do it. Okay. MN. What? I think it's right. I think it's all good. Save. Yes. Yes. Sure. What do you mean I don't have sufficient? It's writing. Whatever. Just go screw off. Man, I stepped on something yesterday on my foot. And it hurts like the dickens. Like the whole bottom of my foot is like bruised from whatever little screw I stepped on in my garage yesterday. I think my bamboo print's about done, by the way. Yeah, 15 minutes left to go. And oh, it failed! No! Oh! I had my back to it. It's fine. I'll put some more hairspray on it. It's A-okay. Actually, you know what? We're getting ready to do, I guess that's the gods telling me to do Octoprint. So we're gonna do Octoprint. So I'm not gonna try and force to restart that when I'm just gonna be plugging Octopi into it. So by the way, when I did Octoprint server, this right here was not a thing. We had to do it through like a script generator and manually edit the scripts, manually line by line, and edit a bunch of shit. Like, it was bad. It was probably 3 or 4 years ago when I last set up Octoprint. You can do it. 70%. Oh, these are bigger than I thought they were. I thought these were tiny. But I guess they have to be big enough to hold a key switch, so that does kind of make sense. I guess I'm gonna put the green back over. I guess I'm gonna do that. I'll put the green back over into this printer. Into the AMS because it'll be done before I can do Octoprint.